Good evening, Laborites. Good evening from the Next Level team. Simeon is not here, but our comrade Tony Astafan is here with us. Thank you. I love you too, my dear. Only Vado can do that. I want to really recognize, and give great focus and attention to what the Prime Minister said, because when you listen to the Prime Minister, it sounds, a chorus in our ears. We are put on notice about the importance of these general elections. And I want to say this evening, brothers and sisters, that this election on the 8th of December is the most important election in the history of Dominica. Because since the days of Patrick John and the Ku Klux Klan, we have never faced a greater threat to the economy and national security of Dominica as the threat of Lennox Linton and the United Workers' Party. Now, earlier this year, you will remember that I was on this step over there. And I said to you and to Dominica that the form of politics of Lennox Linton and the United Workers' Party was terrorism. And you remember I said that enough was enough. And Linton took issues with it. But tonight we want to send a strong message to Linton and the United Workers' Party that their form of politics is terrorism. And we have had enough, brothers and sisters, because to march on the Douglas Charles Airport and to threaten Dominicans returning is terrorism. Brothers and sisters, we are united in saying that to threaten the security of Dominica, the national security of Dominica, is terrorism. And we cannot afford to have terrorists in the government of Dominica. And you will remember, brothers and sisters, to ask your supporters, or to encourage your supporters, or to not prevent your supporters from going to put diesel on the runway is to encourage them to commit an act of terrorism. Now, when the chief of police and the Prime Minister complimented him, when the chief of police stood up and said they would not stand for that, you know what they did? The United Workers' Party called them rogues. And they said on the radio station, the brother of Linton said that they will take the law in their own hands, even to the point of guns. Now, when you take guns against the police, you want to commit terrorism. Because you're not going to take guns against the police and pat them on the shoulder and ask them how they're doing and ask them to have a beer with you. When you take guns against the police, we have to ask ourselves, were they planning a coup? Were they planning to disrupt the elections? Were they planning to have a bloodbath in Dominica? And so we are saying we have had enough of Linton and enough of the United Workers' Party. Now, Linton has confirmed to us in Dominica that their politics is terrorism. You remember Linton and Fontaine said that when they went around Dominica, young people were asking them for guns to kill. Killing is a terrorist act. When you have people who are innocent and at peace and you kill them, you are committing acts of terrorism. So the young people, they said, who asked them for guns, saw that the United Workers' Party was a bunch of terrorists. And then Linton tells us he's going to travel overseas. And guess who he's going to meet? Polisario. Polisario is a group of terrorists. And Linton says he would expand cooperation with the Polisario. So this is an intent to spread terrorism. And we cannot have Dominica as the place where terrorism is spread in the Caribbean. Linton has called you, the women and young people of Dominica, prostitutes. And to call women who have their dignity and young people who have their dignity prostitutes is to terrorize them, and you cannot ask them to vote for you again. So I am saying on December 8th, we must show our disgust. We must show that this is not the sort of government that we want in Dominica. We have had enough. And you remember on this step over there, I spoke about drones. I'm not going to speak about drones tonight. The only drone I'm going to talk about is the power of the vote. So when you go in the polling station, bring your drone with you. The pen and the paper, make your vote next to the Labour Party and vote the United Workers' Party out of Dominica politics. We are going to mobilize the power of the vote. We want you to mobilize your neighborhood. Mobilize every woman in Dominica you can find. And tell them the prostitutes going to vote. Mobilize every young person you can find and tell them the prostitutes going to vote. And when we are finished, the only prostitute in Dominica will be the United Workers' Party. And I am saying tonight, every household in Dominica must show Linton and the United Workers' Party that they are not the people we want in politics. Our government has worked too long and hard for this country. We have sacrificed for too long and hard in this country. Linton is unemployed. Fontaine is unemployed. And a particular lady is unemployed. I'm not calling names. Reggie will call names. That is for Reggie to do. No, sir. So, when they say that change is a must, we're going to show them change. Because we're changing Marigot. For 20 years, Edison in Marigot. We're going to bring change to Marigot. Salisbury, with Shanks, we're bringing change in Salisbury. And you know what? We're bringing change in Roseau Central on the 8th of December. Change is coming to Roseau Central on the 8th of December. Look the change, brothers and sisters. The change right there. The change is right there. The United Workers' Party has destroyed the dreams of Dominicans. You remember in January 2000, Edison James gave an interview to the CNN reporters. And on the Next Level program, we have spoken about it. Edison James said that between 1995 and 2000, 5,000 banana farmers left the banana fields. 5,000. That's what Edison James said to CNN. So that 5,000 has been like a bubble on Edison's brain. A bubble. You know what Linton came and said? He will bring 5,000 jobs in 3 years to cure Edison's bubble. Well, Edison and Linton will both have a bubble on the 8th of December because we voted them out of Dominican politics. You remember, brothers and sisters, that you remember this DAS business? I want to tell you about this DAS business because the people on Q95 say the bishop is a bloodsucker because he's a friend of Skerrit and Skerrit gave the church money. Let me tell you about this DAS. Because Thompson sucked the blood of DAS. Thompson sucked DAS money. To a point now, DAS have no blood. DAS in agony. Like a Gwen take DAS, brothers and sisters. And so, I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to say that. You know, on the Next Level show, when we don't want to say something, we say we're not going to say that. But Thompson Fontaine is a magician. The only person in Dominica that make land disappear is Thompson Fontaine. And Thompson Fontaine wants to come in the treasury to make the treasury disappear. So we're going to tell them what to do with the 5,000 jobs. They can take 1,000 and give Thompson Fontaine. Take the second 1,000 and give Linton. Take the third 1,000 and give the lady. Take the fourth 1,000 and give Edison. And the fifth 1,000 give to Q95. We don't want the 5,000 jobs. You know what we want? We want a sound economy. Because when you have a sound economy, you have a platform for growth. That's what we want. What we want, brothers and sisters, is a strong fiscal policy. We want responsible governance. Because when you have responsible governance and a strong fiscal policy, you can sustain the jobs that you create. And Roosevelt Skerrit has created jobs and he has sustained those jobs. What we also want is a strong foreign policy. Because on the 9th of December, we still want China. We still want Morocco. We still want Venezuela. So we want strong foreign relations. That's what we want. We don't want a prime minister who, as Comrade Tony said, the only person he can call is Q95. So we are saying, this election, we want a landslide victory. We want to vindicate the people of Dominica, the women of Dominica. We are standing up for women. We are standing up for young people. We are standing up for labor. We want all 21. So we are saying 5 more days for 5 more years. 5 more days for 5 more years. Labor, power. Thank you. Thank you.